sure that we have a safe, healthy homecoming for all. And we're trying to do that for you in the same way that we developed our protocols for COVID over the last 18 months. So with me today is our Chief Enterprise Risk Officer and our Chair of our COVID response team, Lucretia Moultrie, who will talk to you a little bit about our safety protocols and what you need to know with respect to the rules of the road for homecoming. The Head of Institutional Advancement and the Homecoming Chair for this year, Dr. Vita Pickram. Our Dean of Students, Jasmine Buxton. Our incredible student leader executive, Kiana Hutchins. Our Chief of Police, Joyce Simmons. And Michelle Fisher, the best nurse in all of the land. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lucretia. As always, we will have plenty of questions. I do want you to know, though, that this is one of what will likely be two forums on homecoming in particular. So alumni, if you know folks that are not on this call today, I encourage you to make sure that they come to the next one so everybody's clear how we are proceeding. With that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Moultrie.
Thank you, Dr. Allen, and good morning, everyone who's joined us this morning. So as Dr. Allen mentioned, we're very excited to host our upcoming homecoming, but of course our goal is to host this event as safely as possible. So the team at the university has worked together to develop a protocol to enable us to do this successfully. First and foremost, I want to make clear that for the purpose of homecoming activities, everyone is required to provide proof of vaccination or a copy of a negative COVID test result that's been completed within 5 to 7 days prior to your date of entry. What's important to note about COVID test results is that you need to have a PCR test done. So that is not the rapid test, that's not acceptable. You need to have a PCR test done. And we're very lucky in Delaware that they are easily accessible. A partner that we oftentimes work with is Curative. They have, if you look them up online, they have locations throughout the state where you can obtain a PCR test. Also, if you are vaccinated, we want to make sure that we make this process as simple as possible for everyone to comply with. If you are vaccinated, what you are going to be able to do is to upload a digital copy of your COVID vaccination card. In order to do that, we will launch a portal that's very simple to use so that you're able to upload your information. That will be the fastest way for you to gain access to our campus for the purposes of homecoming activities. If you are not vaccinated, you'll need to produce a negative COVID test result. The issue with this is that it will be a slower process because you're going to have to produce that when you come to campus. So we encourage everyone, if you're vaccinated, please upload your information so that you have the equivalent of a fast pass and easily access our campus community. But those of you who are unvaccinated, please be aware that it may take you more time to go through the screening process to gain entry to our university. So please plan accordingly. Give yourself a little buffer, some extra time when you report to campus. With regard to children, we all know that children under the age of 12 are not obtaining vaccines yet. So what they will have to do is provide proof of a negative COVID test, a negative PCR COVID test completed within 5 to 7 days prior to the date of reporting to campus. If you don't register for homecoming and you provide your information ahead of time, you can still do so on the day of, but once again, keep in mind that there will be a process that attaches to that, so plan your time accordingly. If you report to campus with multiple individuals in the car, know that each individual, they're going to be subject to review of their materials. So if you have some individuals that have not pre-registered, they will have to have their materials reviewed upon reporting to campus. Once you are on campus, this is a very important piece. Whether you are vaccinated or unvaccinated, at any time, if someone's indoors, you need to be wearing your mask. So it doesn't matter your status. You need to be masked at all times if you're at indoor events. For outdoor events, anyone who is unvaccinated will be required to wear their mask, except for when they're eating or drinking. Vaccinated individuals do not need to wear masks when you are outdoors on our campus. Social distancing is also important. We all know that that is a very basic way to keep yourself safe in this pandemic environment. So please be mindful of social distancing like this. So please continue to monitor our webpage and the e-news for updates with regard to our COVID policies and opportunities to use that portal to upload your information ahead of time. Thank you.
Now we'll turn it over to our Dean of Students, Ms. Jasmine Buxton.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Good morning, everyone on the call today. We are really excited. Dr. Hutchins and the student leadership and engagement team have been working very diligently over the past couple of months to make sure that they bring you the appropriate amount of homecoming celebratory events and programs and things that'll really make the fall, really cap off a great fall that we've kind of been experiencing already. We've already had a few events that have been relatively very successful, from football games to parties and different things like that. So we're really looking forward to having a robust schedule of events that kind of dovetail or connect with what Dr. Pickham's going to talk about later. But right now, I just want to slide things over to Dr. Hutchins, who's going to talk with you about the homecoming events that are planned, not the details, because we know Campus Activities Board is going to do their homecoming release relatively soon, but please make sure you're listening to what she's saying, because a lot of the dates that you're going to have to test and all those things will be very important based on the types of events that you would like to attend. We hope you attend all of them, obviously, but want to make sure that when she's talking about the events that are available, that you're mindful of when you should be taking a test for those that are vaccinated, which everyone should be by this point, okay? So I'll let Dr. Hutchins talk right now.
Thanks, Dean Buxton. Good morning, everyone. I am, of course, as Dean Buxton mentioned, just here to talk a little bit about what the week looks like in terms of student activities. I'm not sure if we have the slide or not. If not, no worries. I'll just go through day by day. So we are planning to kick off with coronation on Saturday, October 16th. And then we'll come into that Tuesday with our next event. I'm sorry, Monday, not Tuesday. Monday with our next event, which is the Powder Puff Championship game, again on Monday, October 18th. On Tuesday, October 19th, we are planning a live show. We can't get into too much detail yet about that, but we're planning a live show for students. On Wednesday, October 20th, we have a trap and paint event that is scheduled on Thursday, October 21st. That will be the Swarm Homecoming Edition. And on Friday, October 22nd, we're planning for the homecoming concert and party. All right. Some of the locations currently are still to be determined, but as you can see here, we do have times nailed down for all of the events. So coronation is scheduled to begin at 4. Please know that the coronation ball, which follows, is by invitation only. All right. And then with the Powder Puff game, we're looking at a 7:30 start time. The live show on the 19th, an 8 o'clock start time. Trap and paint, 7 o'clock start time on that Wednesday. Thursday will be a 2 to 5 event earlier in the day. And then Friday, the concert and party is scheduled to begin at 9 p.m. All right, please know that these events are for DSU students only, right? At this time, none of the events will be open to the general public. Again, DSU students only. All events are ticketed with the exception of the Swarm on that Thursday. All right, please know that there are also some capacity limitations with a few of these events. But as Dean Buxton said, we are still just crossing a few T's, dotting a few I's, right? So our plan is to certainly have more communication, detailed communication out to our students sometime next week, which of course will highlight the testing protocols, right? The policy of the university as it relates to your your weekly testing, and also just provide you with as much detailed information again as possible so that you are, of course, doing the right things. Our students are doing the right things to be able to get into these events and don't find themselves in a situation where they've purchased tickets and essentially will not be allowed to enter the event because they haven't followed protocol. So again, it's a very exciting time. We're looking forward to the week, and just be ready for more information next week as it becomes available. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine, and thank you, Kiana. Now, I'm imagining today we have a number of alumni on the call as we welcome them home. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Vita Pickram. Vita?
Yes. Alumni, I know you're looking forward to homecoming. So am I. We're planning, as you can see, a full week of activities. But the alumni events are the ones that I look forward to as an alum, 2016 degree. And, just getting all of the calls from you throughout the past 2 weeks in particular. Are we having homecoming? Are we having homecoming? Yes, we are having homecoming. So if you could put the slide up, please. Because I wanted to just show you some of the events that we're having. Again, these are the events that we've planned so far. There are many other discussions, taking place, in regards to what we can do during the homecoming period, among our alumni. And I'm hoping that I can pick up a painting or two, at that event, so we'll see, but please plan to attend that as well. That will be in the library gallery from 2 to 6 on Friday. And then we have a very exciting event coming up. This is celebrating the 130th anniversary. Now, Hall of Famer Robert Presbury, he will ride his bike 130 miles from Virginia to the DSU football field. Okay, can you imagine? Along the way, different alumni will join with him. And then they will all arrive at 4 o'clock on Friday to celebrate. And this is being done in conjunction with our former head football coach, Bill Collick. So many of you know Bill. And it's going to be a very, very exciting time. And I just can't imagine, to see all of those getting to the football field and still having breath to celebrate. I can't imagine doing that, so that's going to be very exciting. And it's a fundraiser for the 130th anniversary. Then I want to highlight the Golden 50-year class of 1971. They have reunited every 5 years since graduating under the leadership of Jackie Sutler. I mean, that's phenomenal. One of our most impressive classes in doing that. The class has planned a golden reunion and a gala, and they will procession at the Sunday, homecoming church service that you'll hear about in a moment. And the class of 71, has individuals in it like Otto Nern, who's been a past president of the Alumni Association, as well as the Florida Alumni Chapter, Al Outlaw. I mean, these individuals, I remember meeting Al when he was in Philadelphia. Now he's in Florida, again, another member of the Sunshine Chapter. But they are planning such an exciting time, for their Golden 50-year class. And so we want to acknowledge them during the event as well. And then another golden class of 1970. They could not celebrate in 2020. So we're going to assist them in celebrating this year, at homecoming. And they're planning to present a check for over $30,000, during the pregame reception, and just showing their dedication and support, of our beloved university. So we're very excited, and we'll be celebrating them as well. And then under the new leadership of Leah Williams, the DSUAA, we're planning several events that you see here. They will start, on Friday, and will go on through the whole entire weekend, actually. And so I won't repeat all of them, but you see them here. But we're having a great time in working with the new leadership of the DSUAA in planning not only for homecoming, but throughout the year, different activities that we will be working on together as we move forward with common goals to uplift the university. Then the class of 1981, I want to highlight them. They will be celebrating their 40th year. That's a reunion on Friday evening. And other class gatherings, as you can see here, will be the class of 73, 75, 78. In addition, the DSC legends, let me get that right, Delaware State College legends. they will be having their annual homecoming gathering. And if you ever want to peek into their event, they have such a great time and just talking about the times of past, where they all were on the football team, together. And also that's going to be very exciting as well as the alumni gospel choir and the alumni band. They will all get together and celebrate. And then we come to Saturday. Next slide, please. Saturday, we'll start the day, with a homecoming parade. Yes, we're having the parade. And interesting enough, while many individuals' budgets, have been cut, but we're getting a lot of registrants for the homecoming parade. And this year, we plan to end the parade at our DSU downtown campus. Can you imagine? That would be historic, given that we acquired Wesley College, and now we'll be able to include, that site into our homecoming parade festivities. So we're very excited about that. We'll also have, in celebration of the 130th, the time capsule dedication. This has different artifacts from over the years in recognition of our 130th anniversary. So we'll dedicate that, and then we'll have the football game. All right. Prior to the football game, the president has a pregame reception. That's where we celebrate our donors and individuals that are recognizing the university by giving various financial donations to the university, and just those that we're recognizing for their time that they've supported in mentoring students and supporting different events just by volunteering. So that's a great time as well. After the homecoming game, which starts at 2:00, we will have the first time a day party. Now, this day party will also be celebrating our 130th anniversary, and will be featuring the Urban Guerrilla Orchestra. Some of you attended the 130th celebration on May 15th of this year, and you heard how great they are. And so they're back and will be celebrating with us, at the day party. So I hope all of you all will plan to attend that. And then we will end the weekend with the second annual church service that will be in the newly renovated EH Theater. So we're very excited, about all of the activities that will be coming up during homecoming. And I hope that all of you all will attend. And yes, we have to go through certain protocols in order to be able to participate, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. And our theme this year is Back Together Again. So we hope that all of you all will be able to participate with us so we truly can enjoy each other and plan the rest of our year. So with that, Mr. President, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Vita. We appreciate that. I think you all can tell from both the list of student activities and the alumni activities, it's going to be high time at Delaware State University, which is why it's important that we remain safe throughout. Now, I could not end this call without talking about two things I'm sure on the alumni folks' mind. Tailgating and the plots, particularly for those who are from the Divine Nine. So I'm going to turn it over to Chief Simmons and Dean Buxton just to give a sense of what the expectation is from a tailgating perspective and at the plots. Chief Simmons.
Yes,
You're on mute. There you go.
Can you hear me? Okay. It is a unique honor to, as an alumnus of Delaware State University, to be a part of the team of planning to facilitate security measures for such a huge event, and especially at a time such as this. And so I'm going to yield the conversation concerning the plot area and tailgating to the end so that Dean Buxton can also add any additional comments concerning that. But just as a foreshadow of what you should expect when you arrive on campus, aside from adhering to all of the safety protocols as Ms. Moultrie shared concerning COVID-19 protocols that are in place, we should ensure that the festivities and the fun that are being planned for the week are not foreshadowed by any loss of reputation for the university or injury, property loss, things of that nature. So that with that in mind, we are collectively working as a multi-agency approach, other police agencies and security companies in the state to manage traffic and population control. So we just ask that everyone be in compliance with the regulations and directives that will be set forth when you arrive on campus. to ensure that the safety of our campus and of all the people who will be there, the population of people and vehicular traffic. Also, as a reminder, Delaware State University is a dry campus. Open containers containing alcohol and cups that may contain contents that may contain alcohol in them are not permitted to be on campus. In general, you cannot walk around campus with open containers. Specifically to students, you're reminded to adhere to the rules and regulations, both on and off campus, as they are outlined in the student code of conduct. And so specifically relating to the plot area and tailgating, there will be time allotted for individuals to enter into the plot area. Early in the morning, there will be a 2-hour span of time between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. You'll be allowed to bring or drive onto the area located near the plots to drop off items that you may need for tailgating, and then there will be a cutoff time.
For the purposes of being on the plot area, any organization is allowed to be out there as long as they follow the protocols that public safety has set forth. So being anything between the time, the 8 to 10, dropping things off and then leaving after a certain time, those things will be very important because we rely on our alums and our students to kind of follow the necessary protocols so that we continue to have a great, that they'd be a great end to our homecoming event. There will not be specifically a registration process. So these organizations who would like to go out onto the plot area don't necessarily have to register those things with OSLA or OSLE. But we just encourage you that if you receive any information from public safety, that you follow those to the letter and to the T. 1, just to set a great example. 2, to make sure that our students have the great and our alum have the greatest experience possible. And 3, just to really enjoy the festivities of homecoming. From the tailgating piece, the same things apply, but the plot area is going to be very, we recognize that is going to be a really popular area. We hope that the weather stays really nice and that you're out there and having a great time. We encourage you to let your undergraduate chapters know to clean up that plot area between now and homecoming so that you have the great spaces to sit out. We may need to have a different discussion for those who want to come and maybe grill and things like that, because there are going to be some COVID protocols that we need to make sure we put in place as it relates to noise, sound ordinances, and things like that. But certainly we can have those conversations. You can have that, your graduate chapter advisors that are advising the student organizations, advising the Greeks on campus right now. That information can be communicated to you through Mr. Smith, who's our Associate Director of Greek Life, okay? But if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we can kind of answer those specifically, or we can have a conversation offline about it.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody. We're going to go to Q&A here in a second, but I hope you feel very good about all the activities that are planned, the fact that we will be safe, and you can enjoy many of the activities that you typically enjoy at homecoming. It isn't really a time for our students to take a deep breath in their mid-semester, and our alumni to re-engage with friends, classmates in a way that is respectful and celebratory of this wonderful institution of ours. So with that, Brother McMillan, I'll open it up for questions.
First question, can fraternity and sorority alumni host events on the plot of an inactive undergraduate chapter at the university?
Yeah, I'll take that one. We have made the decision that all fraternities and sororities that have been established at Delaware State University will have an opportunity to have an event at the plot. What we mean by event is gather at the plot, like would be normal.
Will DART be allowed entry of main entrance during homecoming?
That's no.
Chief?
Sir, no. The DART bus will not enter through the main entrance. We have protocols for the DART bus to generally enter through one during homecoming.
Next
To
question.
confirm, does the plot gatherings end at 7 p.m.?
No, it's 7:30. So that's a great question. So we talked about when we will let everybody begin to set up for tailgating and plot entry in the morning. But at the end, both the tailgating activity and the plot activity is scheduled to end at 7:30 promptly.
Will the AKA sorority have its traditional tea inside?
I've actually not heard about that event this year. What I'd encourage you to reach out to Dean Buxton to understand what that information is and how that's typically disseminated. I know there are a lot of activities that happen on campus, but that was not one that was on our schedule.
Where will the parade begin and where will it end? Is this open to the public?
Dr. Picker?
Yes, I mean, it will begin, let's see, I believe it's on Lockman, but it will end at our new DSU downtown location, which was previously Wesley College. Okay, and yes, there's a registration link on the website, on the landing page for homecoming, where you can register to participate in the parade. And any questions in regards to the parade, further questions, feel free to reach out to me. My cell number is 302-943-9374, because I know we need to facilitate getting everything, get in place, so if you have any difficulty with the website and registering, just feel free to reach out.
Are we allowed to bring a guest to homecoming or is it student only?
No, the answer is guests are fine. Here's the price of admission, though. The price of admission is a vaccination that can be uploaded in a portal that will come out here soon, or a negative COVID test 5 to 7 days prior to the event. That's very important too, because I know many of you will travel with family and friends together. So think about that if you're not vaccinated. And you need to have your negative COVID test. Everybody you're traveling with will need to have the same thing upon entry.
Will the shuttle bus take us to the parade at this downtown campus?
Dr. Bikram?
That is something, I'm glad you raised that question. We will be coordinating, all logistics around transportation to and from the parade at a later date, but it will be posted on the landing page on how that will be handled.
Will the plots be open to student organizations other than just the Greek organizations?
The plot area is a Greek supported sponsored area, although it's university property. Students can be around and all those things, but the plots are specifically for fraternities and sororities. However, guests and all those things are allowed to be out there. We don't have any restriction based on whether or not you're Greek.
What artist options are there for homecoming this year?
The tricky way to ask who the artists are. It's a
Big
surprise and they
reveal.
will be released. That's a good way to ask who the artists are. No, we're not releasing those. CAB has their own Campus Activities Board will have a release event over the next couple of weeks or so. And so you will have that information. It'll be on Instagram and everything else relatively soon.
That was the last of our questions, Dr. Allen.
Fantastic. Well, I am excited about homecoming for certain. Thank you all for participating. Again, know that we will have at least one more forum dedicated to homecoming activities. I do want you to begin to look out for an email concerning the uploading of your vaccination cards. As soon as you get that email, please respond. Feel free to forward broadly, because that's probably the most significant price of admission at Delaware State University for homecoming. We are attempting to do something that lots of other institutions are not able to do this year, and we're doing it because we've proven to ourselves that when we focus, think hard about students first and their safety, we can do anything possible. And I think this will be a great opportunity, another example of just how important and how impactful Delaware State University can be. So with that, until next time, we'll see you real soon. Take good care.
Take care.